Welcome into WCSN's coverage of ASU football. My name is Chancellor Johnson, joined alongside by analyst Jacob Rudner. And Jacob, ASU is off to a hot start. They're 2-0, are ranked number 23 in the country, but you believe there's still room for improvement. What would you like to see on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, ASU's been very, very strong on defense, but their biggest problem has been they're not preventing the big plays. They've looked strong for the majority of their time on defense, but the biggest issue is they need to be able to prevent the ball when it goes through the air on third down, for example. They've made the stops downs 1 through 2, but they've had a hard time preventing the ball from making the big plays that are keeping the opponents away from scoring.
And ASU has the number 1 ranked defense in the country. Coach Gonzalez has done a pretty good job, but of course, always room for improvement. Now, coming into the season, one of the major questions was how is ASU going to replace their 2 running backs in Demario Richard and Kalen Ballage? This year, they have their guy in Eno Benjamin. What would you like to see from him?
Well, Eno Benjamin's looked fantastic this year. He hasn't really had any problems, and the offensive line's done a pretty good job of protecting him. But his biggest problem this year has been that the offensive line has not allowed him to get to the outside. I think that Eno Benjamin, we can all agree, is a fantastic runner, and he's very fleet-footed and bouncy when he tries to evade a defender. But his best time when he's running is when he's not up the trenches. It's when he can get to the outside of the ball. We saw that work successfully last week when they were passing him the ball on screen plays to the outside, and he was able to evade rushers that way. So to me, the best way that they can continue to get him involved and use his talent on the field is by allowing him to get outside of the offensive line and stay away from the middle.
Through 2 games, he has over 150 yards and is averaging about 5.5 yards per carry. Now this week, tough test in San Diego State. It's their first road game of the season. What are some of the keys to the game?
Yeah, underrated team in San Diego State. They're definitely a strong opponent, but something that they can work on is just continue to do what they've been doing with N'Keal Harry. Get him involved early. Last week we saw it took a little bit of time. Manny Wilkins was overthrowing him a little bit early in the game. He wasn't necessarily looking in his direction. I think that if they can involve N'Keal Harry earlier on in the matchup, that can go a long way for them. Something else that they definitely need to work on is using N'Keal Harry as that distraction to get other receivers involved. If he's out on the field, the defense has to gravitate towards N'Keal Harry because he's just so good. So I think that that's a good excuse to get other players involved.
Not a bad game plan. Get the ball to N'Keal Harry. Thanks for watching WCSN's coverage of ASU football. For Jacob Rudner, I'm Chancellor Johnson. See you next time.